this is documenting the ongoing terrorism that Universal Waste is engaging in on behalf of the state. This is light activity, amplified audible activity, and demonic patrolling. This is light activity, and while they're rolling that dumpster, I want you to see this. That's creating thunderous, earthquake-like activity. He's got multiple shadows on the inside of the dumpster. He's in engineered light. You already know that. This is engineered light that's present, and the entity, while you're looking at him rolling a dumpster, this is the means of creating amplified audible activity inside of the apartment. The flashing lights is activity. He's walking around in the engineered environment. This is a demon that is monitoring, and the outward appearance is engaging in services. He's at the facilitating venue, and the light source, which is the moon, where this entity is rising and setting the sun. This is the direct evidence again. This is a demon, and these are the same exact elements of monitoring. Universal Waste is going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted for systematic monitoring, facilitation of monitoring, and also what is harassment by a demon-possessed entity. Now, the verbiage with regard to federal court, that's a systematic means of what is terrorism. While they are using a commercial means, this commercial means, Universal Waste is going to be identified as group stalking, a sex offender. They're monitoring me inside of the private space. The entity has engineered light inside of my apartment while this demon is in relevant position, listening to my voice right now. This is the psychopath you see up close on video under the fake sun. He is right here under the fake moon. Okay, the sun is not rising and setting at the same address, and the moon is not over the same address. This is a psychopath and a sex offender who is listening to me prosecute him on video, and he arrives to systematically engage in the name of Universal Waste Incorporated, who is going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted. This is a template for the ways in which the people of the state that utilize commercial means to facilitate state monitoring. All right, this is light activity. And the other day when he was driving out of the parking lot during the day after leaving that dumpster in the street, impossible light moved across that same building that he's driving by. That's a demon. So be clear, that is indeed a demon, and you have the exact same demonic elements underway, the exact same demonic system underway. It's facilitated while the entity acts through commercial means, and that is the malicious system of federal group stalking and monitoring. While he drives down the street and sounds the truck, that's a demon that's still monitoring. Everything that they are doing is accomplishing monitoring. Understand that. They are obsessive group stalkers, and they are demon possessed. You're talking about highly malicious and literally unbelievably hostile. This is literally, I want you to see, this is the moon. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's so, the demon possessed are weirdos, okay? While you are looking at what is documentation, which is establishing the center of the universe at Alvarado Gardens, I want to let you know the demon possessed population. This is exactly speaking to what is the unnatural environment, and the targeted individual is indeed treated as what is the center of the universe amongst who? Let me be clear. Amongst passive aggressive, demon possessed, psychotic group stalkers who are hostile, who are harassing, who are group stalking and monitoring, and are doing it unbeknownst to the target individual. All right, but you've got the sun and the moon rising and setting on them, and everything about what the group stalkers do is serving for the ongoing evidence as to what is the center of the universe that they are, their light activity, the environment that they're in. All right, and all of the pathetic ways. The pathetic is equivalent to what is highly malicious and criminal, okay? But I want to be clear, it's pathetic. This is the demon-possessed population who engage in what is a secret method of targeting and terrorizing American citizens. And not only is it being exposed, it's going to be thoroughly prosecuted and dissected for the world to understand and recognize on your own. All right, it's currently 5:13 a.m., and that's Universal Waste being documented. It's a family-owned business. I'm going to prosecute them civilly and criminally, systematically monitoring me as a sex offender, Universal Waste. And the reason why you're going to prosecute that way, because that's what the government is. The government that's engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring is a sex offender. The government is doing it through the people. The people like to utilize their companies. The companies are monitoring me inside of the private space. The companies are engaging in the same exact criminal elements of monitoring while you're looking at nothing other than a logo or a company brand name. The same exact elements of monitoring remain. The same exact cartoon environment remains. Okay? This is P.O.C. 5:13 a.m. And Universal Waste will likely not survive civil prosecution and criminal prosecution for what is also, again, unlawful facilitation that the people of the state provide, even using their businesses. And they also will not likely survive because it will be a matter of public information announced, added on to a list maintained by the Department of Justice as a group stalker. Literally, company names, law enforcement agencies, and possible light. Possible light. You see the shadow of the trees in motion? Headlights don't do that. You see that? That's a demon. They're going to federal prison. Everybody that lives in relevant position, and this is sad, to their own demise. Headlights don't do that. That's called crossing a path, and that's what I mean by the pathetic demon-possessed population to their own. This is what the abundance did. Understand what they did yesterday. Understand what they did. Know that they were documented losing custody of their children, and they come and engage in more of the same to their own demise. Let me be clear, what they are doing, that impossible light activity, is evidence against the entity. All of them are of the same condition, engaged in the same system. And like you already know that, because the entity is keeping the moon, the sun, during the day, all day long, and engineer light is inside of my apartment. I just want to be clear, that's evidence that you already know is that's evidence letting you know about what's going on. But I want to be clear, while the demon possessed in literally convict themselves. That was impossible light. That was the shadow of trees moving across a building, while headlights are not going to create dynamic light. That vehicle was sitting in motion. This vehicle is sitting, headlights aren't even aimed toward the building. And also, I want to let you know, headlights are not going to be that concentrated, creating that light activity. I want you to understand, what's the entity doing inside of my apartment? I'm going to break this down. The entity is through closed blinds, magnifying closed blinds, and you see the shadow of moving trees through closed blinds. Let me let you know what these demons are doing. On that building that you just saw, the leaves of these trees are in motion on this wall. That's while that demon's sitting there in relevant position. The headlights are not that concentrated. Headlights are not going to from this distance. They're not going to pierce into people's apartments, and it's not going to create that dynamic light activity. That's a demon. Understand that. And then I'm capturing it on video. So I want you to not only learn about the behavior, the methods employed by a demon that is stalking you. That's what demons are doing. They're stalking. He's over here with light activity, stalking in the path. It's evidence against the people of the state. All right. This is what LAPD is doing vicariously through the people. And while you're looking at this stalker that's maintaining presence while the others were crossing path, very heavily very heavy demonic activity. The other two were crossing path while this engineered light moves across the building. All of them hostile. Why do they get up and do that? Not only because they're stalkers and they're always listening to me pull my panties up and down. They're sex offenders, but because I'm capturing video of universal waste. Universal waste isn't acting by themselves. Universal waste is just a commercial means to engage in the same exact demonic system, and it's criminal. It's federal group stalking and monitoring. Universal waste is going to be prosecuted. Everybody that lives at this property over here, like, I don't need to know these demons' names. They're identified by the specific environment. That's the significance of looking at the light source that's remaining over me while I'm on Route 66 at 10 o'clock in the morning, the same time where you're seeing LAPD group stalking me here at 10 o'clock in the morning in a helicopter, and the people of the state pacing all around, and these cockroaches pacing all around in the engineered environment. That's how you know what they are and what they're doing, and they're going to be prosecuted. And then while they continue to do that, all right, with malice, showing impunity, that's speaking to the severity of that federal prosecution, which they're not avoiding under any circumstances. While they are terrorizing me, an impossible light is moving across the venue, and they're doing it to someone who not only knows what they're doing, knows what their condition is. I'm literally capturing you on video, and you're looking at this dynamic light and this third-party group stalker that's sitting there stationary. Okay. Even if they were in motion, understand that dynamic light is not created by their vehicle whose headlights are moving while the car, it's all impossible. That level of concentrated light is all impossible. Impossible. Sunlight is not ricocheting off of cars, whether they've got a logo on them or not, while you're driving your car. That's the demonic elements, okay? That's light activity, relevant positioning, and while audible activity is maintained. And especially while I'm capturing my video, my voice. Okay, that's stalking right there. All they're doing is crossing path. All right, this is P.O.C. That was confirmation for what's coming for Universal Waste. In the name of Universal Waste Incorporated, the entity is monitoring. And then you've got the people of the state who are living in relevant position, engaged in criminal monitoring in violation of Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. And I want to be clear, they are doing so while they are living and in custody of children, working in the medical field, psychopath group stalking minions who are threatening systematically, just getting up day in. This is just the way that they live their life. All right, you're talking about ticking time bombs who are currently in positions that are posing a threat to the lives of American citizens, and they have no business in the legal field, in the legal profession, in the medical field. They have no business around having any capacity or control over children or those who are vulnerable in society. Let me be clear. Lorraine Pena, 76 years old, an obsessed group stalker, a psychopath, literally demonstrated by her light activity while she's crossing path. She likes to threaten my life with the corrupt law enforcement agency, LAPD. She is engaged in the medical field with regard to, I believe, home care, nursing care. She's taking care of somebody that can't take her. You're going to remove the demon possessed from positions like that. I don't care if the person that she's taking care of, whether they're a third party group stalker, it doesn't matter. It's the principle. There are those who are placed in positions of harm where you do not know that this population, this secret society, this pathetic entity is in positions to harm people and do it maliciously, secretly. You'll see it on the news as it's something else other than what it is a person that's threatening the lives of American citizens, and you don't even know that they're there. Okay? That's the reality. These are the reverberating implications when you are aware of what's going on in the environment with regard to the criminal conduct of a government and the condition of those that are engaging in that system. That's a system. So it's going to inform a lot of what's going forward with regard to laws, with regard to policies, and how you are governing and serving to protect the public, in other words. Group stalkers will not maintain custody of their children while you're living at a crime scene. Oh, you're regularly engaging in terrorism, just a part of your day and night while you go to Starbucks and then come back with your latte, with your baby in tote, threatening the life of, you're going to handle that. You're going to, in every way, handle that threat. That should not be. All right, it's currently 5:21 a.m. And that was the pattern of conduct. That's exactly what Universal Waste was engaging in on Monday. All right, and you're seeing how they're routinely coming in and monitoring me inside of my private space, being a sex offender, engaging in criminal facilitation, while those demons of the LAPD are monitoring to that, this vicarious conduct. And then those demons in helicopters, they just come and participate in it indirectly. They come and participate in the P.O.C. directly by sounding helicopter activity. They're not going anywhere. They're monitoring at all times. And they're doing it under what's a fake moon and a fake sun that's here all day long. It's a whole body of evidence that's surrounding all of these demons, okay? And this prosecution, like I said, is going far and wide. This is P.O.C.